Have you ever stopped to think about how your phone, your laptop, your smart TV, all of them share the same Wi-Fi without just turning into a jumbled mess? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a set of invisible rules. And today, we're going to dive into how these rules keep our digital world from descending into chaos.
I mean, seriously, just think about it. You've got dozens of devices, all screaming for data, all on this one invisible highway. Without some kind of rules, it'd be nothing but digital traffic jams, right? So what's the secret sauce? What's the system that keeps everything flowing? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack.
Honestly, the best way to think about it is like a polite conversation at a dinner party, right? If everyone just starts shouting at once, all you get is noise. No one understands anything. We have these unwritten social rules, You wait for a pause, you try not to interrupt, you listen before you speak. Well, networks need the exact same thing, just a digital version.
Okay, so let's start at the beginning, with the original rulebook. This was designed way back for the wired world. Think old-school Ethernet cables. It's a protocol called CSMA/CD, and for its time, it was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, CSMA-CD, it stands for Carrier Sense Multiple Access with Collision Detection. I know, it's a total mouthful, but the strategy behind it is actually super intuitive. Carrier Sense just means you listen to the line, to the wire, to see if anyone else is talking. If it's free, you start sending your data. But here's the crucial part, collision detection. It means you have to keep listening while you talk, just in case you and someone else started at the exact same time.
So the whole process is, well, it's reactive. A device listens. The coast is clear? Great, it starts sending data. But what if it hears a garbled mess? That's a collision. It immediately slams on the brakes, stops transmitting, and sends out this thing called a jamming signal. It's basically a loud shout to everyone on the line saying, whoa, we have a problem. Then it waits a totally random amount of time and tries again. Its whole job is basically to clean up messes right after they happen.
And this whole system works beautifully with one tiny critical assumption. A fatal flaw, really, once we cut the cord. See, on a physical wire, it's a pretty safe bet that if I'm talking, everyone else connected to that wire can hear me. But in the air, with invisible radio waves, yeah, that assumption completely, totally falls apart. And that brings us right to the wireless problem, because radio signals, they just don't behave like signals in a nice, neat little cable. They get weaker the farther they go, they get blocked by walls, and they create some really, really tricky situations.
This right here is the classic Wi-Fi headache. It's called the hidden terminal problem. So just imagine this. Device A wants to talk to the access point in the middle, which we'll call B. Simple enough. But at the same time, device C also wants to talk to B. Now here's the problem. A and C are too far apart. They can't hear each other at all. To device A, C is invisible. To device C, A is totally hidden.
So what do you think happens next? Device A listens, hears nothing, and starts sending its data to B. A second later, device C does the same thing. It listens, but it can't hear A, so it thinks, hey, the coast is clear, and it starts sending to B too. Bam! Right there at the access point, their signals collide into a garbled mess. And here's the absolute kicker, neither A nor C has any clue that a collision even happened. That whole collision detection rule, it's completely useless now.
So to fix this mess, wireless networks needed a totally new rule, a much smarter one. We couldn't just keep cleaning up collisions after they happened. We had to stop them from happening in the first place. And that's where CSMA/CA comes into the picture.
So this time, that A at the end stands for avoidance. Carrier Sense Multiple Access with Collision Avoidance. And that one word changes everything. The whole philosophy flips from being reactive to being proactive. The new game plan assumes that collisions aren't just possible, they're pretty much guaranteed to happen unless you do something to actively prevent them.
So how do you actually avoid a collision? Well, you basically add a new layer of politeness to that dinner party conversation we talked about. Instead of just jumping in when you think there's a pause, you raise your hand and ask for permission to speak first.
And this is all handled by this really clever little trick called the RTS/CTS handshake. So let's go back to our example. Device A sends a tiny little message called a request to send, or RTS, to the access point B. The access point gets this, and in response it broadcasts a clear to send, or CTS message to everyone in its range. Now, think about device C. Remember, it couldn't hear A's original request, but it definitely hears that clear to send from the access point. And that message is like a universal stop sign. It tells every other device, hey, shut up for a minute, the channel is reserved. And just like that, the hidden terminal problem is solved.
Okay, so let's put it all together. When you boil it down, the fundamental difference between these two protocols, it's really the difference between the nice, predictable world of a physical wire and the chaotic, messy world of wireless signals.
It really all comes down to this. CSMA/CD is all about detection. It's reactive, it's perfect for wired Ethernet, where you can hear everybody. On the other hand, CSMA/CA is all about avoidance. It's proactive. It's absolutely essential for Wi-Fi, using that clever RTS/CTS handshake to deal with problems like that hidden terminal.
So, if you remember one thing, let it be this. CSMA-CD reacts to collisions after they've already happened. CSMA-CA works to prevent them before they can even start. It's like CSMA-CD is the traffic cop who shows up after the crash to direct traffic. But CSMA-CA, that's the traffic light that prevents the crash from happening in the first place. One is about recovery, the other is all about prevention.
And that very principle, collision avoidance, is what makes our modern wireless world even possible. But it does make you wonder, as we connect literally everything from our cars to our coffee makers, and the airwaves get more and more crowded, how long can this polite conversation model really hold up? What do you think the next rulebook is going to look like?